But let's move on to Nate Parker. Now tomorrow, October 7th, Nate Parker is releasing his film, The Birth of a Nation. And it's a movie about Nat Turner and the slave rebellion, the 48-hour slave rebellion that happened, I believe it was in Virginia.
I think so.
In Virginia,
in
back
1831.
Yeah, back in 1831. And you know, huh?
I said I think it was in Virginia.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it had to be Virginia. I think I seen it say Virginia on the screen. Well, or let's just say it just happened. It was back in 1831.
In the South.
Yes, back in 1831.
In the South.
Yes, down south in 1831. And you know, the movie, we had a chance to go to the screening last week, and we seen the movie, and maybe we can discuss the movie next week with those that have seen the video. I meant the movie. I felt it's a very powerful movie, and it is a story that needs to be told, and it wasn't just a regular old slave film. This was a story about Nat Turner, his family, and the slave rebellion, and what happened to him for this rebellion, and what happened to the other people around him in his life.
The original Black Lives Matter.
Yes. Basically that's what we got for it, and with some of the dialogue that was going on in that film. Now we know Nate Parker. Nate Parker is an actor, and he wrote, direct, produced, and all of that stuff, this film. And you know, a couple months ago it came out that back in 1999 he was accused of raping a female, well, raping a girl, a college. He was accused of raping a girl. Long story short, he beat the case. They determined that he did not rape the girl. His friend was charged with rape, but then a couple years later that was overturned. And he was never charged, or it was never retried. And back in 2012, the female who alleged that she was raped, she committed suicide. And we never heard any of this stuff about Nate Parker. Nate Parker has been around. We've seen him in a couple films here and there. And now we found out earlier this year that his film had won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Festival. It sold for $17 million to a distributor. And, you know, it was just the biggest prize ever for a movie, for an independent film. He's flying high. Everyone was saying, oh my God, this movie's going to be nominated for Oscars, blah, 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 blah. And then we found out about this rape, that he raped a girl. So, you know, you got a lot of different opinions. My first thing is that they're trying to take him down already. They're trying to find out this negative stuff in his past. Oh my God, I got to call her back. They found out this negative stuff in his past, and they're trying to take him down already. They don't want him nominated for anything. So he's really been reluctant to discuss the things that happen. And we've seen the transcripts of the things that happen. The conversation that he had with the rape victim, or the alleged rape victim. He goes on this interview with Robin Roberts on Monday to discuss the film, The Birth of a Nation. And of course, before they even talked about the film, she talked about the allegations. And something that upset me was that he was just like, you know, didn't you see my interview last night with Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes and stuff like that? So I'm just like, wait a minute. She did, just like she said, everybody didn't see that film. And you know, this is basically what she wanted to discuss first, because there was a lot of allegations going on. And he just had this attitude, just like, well, I didn't get charged with anything because they determined that I didn't rape this girl, blah, 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 blah. I'm just paraphrasing. And just his attitude is what upset me, because this is a very serious allegation, a rape allegation against someone. And when you're doing the press for this film, because nobody else is doing the press, he's the only one doing the press for this film. These questions are going to come up because that is an interviewer or a reporter's job. If they don't fucking talk about it, then they're not doing their job. So you have to come off with some respect, because we're talking about a rape allegation where plenty of women and men have been raped. plenty of them have been raped. And you have to handle that situation with care when you talk about it, and not come off, well, I discussed it. I don't really want to discuss it. I didn't get charged with anything, and I want to get to the film. Like, no, I just don't think that that's right.
Can I say something? Are you? I'm gonna let you finish. Are you finished?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna come to his defense on this one because you texted me and you told me to watch that interview, and I watched it. Okay. I'm gonna come to his defense. Okay, because this film is coming out on Friday, which is tomorrow. All you've been hearing about this film is what happened in 1999. The only time you hear people talk about this film is when he's saying something about it. Not the interviewer, but him. Nate's problem was, right off the bat, and I said it too as I was watching it. Right before Robin started the interview, they did that little clip. That whole entire clip was about the rape allegation and nothing about the film. And as soon as it went off, Robin said, I was looking at your face and I saw your face, and you could see the disgust in his face. I'm here promoting this movie and y'all showing me a clip about something that happened in 1999 that I was acquitted of. I'm here to promote a film. Yes, this situation happened. Yes, everybody knows that I was acquitted. But at the end of the day, when are we going to start talking about this film? Because Robin Roberts started the whole interview off with this rape allegation that he was acquitted of and that his friend was found not guilty of. He was over it. I talked about this on Anderson Cooper. I talked about it on this show. I talked about it on that show. We are 3 days into my movie coming out, and when am I going to talk about my movie?
The reason why I'm talk about your movie, but
no, wait.
You got these allegations.
Yeah, you do have these allegations.
You need to discuss
when you were
it.
Talk about it. Wait, no. What am I talking about? I was acquitted of it. There's nothing to talk about. I'm sorry that the young lady killed herself, but I was acquitted of it. I was found not guilty. There's nothing to talk about.
Nate Parker has been hiding for months. He's been hiding. You haven't even seen him anywhere. You know, shit, we were supposed to go to a screen a couple weeks ago, and the film was like, no, you can't even go to this because there's so much going on surrounding this film. And he was in town. He was in town, so I guess he's supposed to be at the screen, and that's why I got canceled. So he has been hiding. So now that they got you on, you want to promote your film on these networks? Yes, you're going to discuss these rape allegations because just because you went to CBS, you went to another network, okay? You've been to the Breakfast Club. You went here and there and there. But you're going to discuss it at our channel. And anybody that interviews them for the first time at that network, they will be a fool not to bring up this rape allegation. Because everybody didn't watch those other things. So it has to come up. And he has to understand that. If you are going to be the face behind your project, and you got this surrounding you, you got this big thing now, because everybody's talking about it. Nobody heard about it before. Didn't nobody hear about you before. Didn't nobody care about what you were doing before. Now that you have this big film and you want everybody to watch it and you want everybody to be discussing it, but now you, because you are the face behind this project and you have this huge allegation behind you that you passed, people want to know. Well, you know, people want to talk to you and discuss about what happened. But to come off like this is something serious that happened. You have a rape allegation against you. Yes, you won, but you also have someone that killed themselves because they were affected by what happened. Even though you two had sex, she said that you had other people involved. And, you know, she's been going through this for years. People don't ever get over rape. Some people were able to block it, but you don't ever get over rape when that happens to you. So, with this happening to this female, to come off like, oh, they're just trying to get me out of here, oh, this is just a slander campaign against me. No, it's not just slander. People are going to talk about it regardless.
I'm not understanding what you're saying, because you're saying when this happens to this female, but yet he was acquitted of not raping her. So how do we know that this female was raped?
Let me tell you something. When you just because you are acquitted of something does not mean that you did not do this act.
It does not mean that. But
you
just like he said, I
that.
had sex with this woman, but I had consensual sex with this woman. As a matter of fact, I've had sex with this woman on multiple occasions. On multiple occasions. So this woman was no stranger to Nate Parker. I don't know if she was a stranger to the other guy, but she was no stranger to Nate Parker. Like he said, I never raped her. I've always had sex with this young lady. But what I'm talking about is, when you watch this interview, first of all, when you look at this Robin Roberts interview, it's an 8-minute interview. For the first almost 5 minutes of this interview, they're talking about this. So when the hell are we going to talk about the other part of this movie? In the next 4 minutes? So that means that you spent more time talking about what happened in 1999 than you did my damn movie. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's there to promote his movie, but we're spending more time talking about a case that I was acquitted of. A case that I was acquitted of. And now I got the remaining 4 minutes to talk about a movie. Now all of a sudden, now I can talk about my movie because I'm telling you, listen, I've apologized to her family. I feel sorry for her family. I was acquitted. I'm sorry that this happened to this young lady, but I'm here to talk about this movie. So does that mean that now every movie that Nate Parker does and promotes that he has to keep talking about this?
No, you know he don't have to do that.
No, I know he doesn't have to do that. But like you said, it would be remiss of an interviewer if they not bring it up. But my whole thing is, why, if I've already, first of all, this is almost 20 years old. That's just like somebody bringing up the Monica Lewinsky case. That's old, 20 years old.
It's already been addressed.
It's already been addressed. And that's what Nate Parker's attitude was. This was already addressed. It was addressed. I've spoken about it. This case is almost 20 years old. I'm here to promote this movie that I'm hoping people get to see because most of the people out there don't even know who the hell Nat Turner is. But I can't explain to little black boys and girls who Nat Turner is when Robin Roberts is talking to me about a case that happened in 1999.
It has to be brought up.
Yeah, but when are we going to talk about the movie?
I'm not sure how long it was, but
watch the interview. It's an 8-minute interview, and half of the I paid attention. Half of the interview they were talking about this.
I don't think it was saying because in the beginning she's like, and we're going to get to your.
Well, starting with the video montage, that's half of the interview.
Yes.
Because when you push play, that starts. So that's half of the interview.
Yeah, it's half of the interview. Well, whatever the case may be, he got the other half. So 50-50 shit. So the first part, we're going to talk about you allegedly raping this girl. And then, bitch, we're going to get to your fucking film.
Listen, if somebody interviews us and they bring up somebody like your friend, another blogger out there that y'all can't get for each other. If we're interviewing, I don't want nobody to bring up that you and this other blogger don't like each other. I don't want that because it's already been addressed. It's already been established. Can we talk about the Scorpion Show and how successful the Scorpion Show is? No. Why? Because this interviewer wants to keep finding out why, Kevin, you don't like this person and why they don't like you and why they think that Mikkel always has on a dirty undershirt. I don't want to entertain that. Okay? I don't want to entertain that. And I felt bad for it because you know what? I never got into Nate Parker because Nate Parker is really a smart, intelligent young man. I watched the Breakfast Club interview and I watched that I watched Robin Roberts. Yep. He's a very smart, intelligent young man. He really is. And I just feel like at some point, and I really and truly feel sorry for that young lady and her family. I really do. But at some point, we are going to have to move on from this. We're just going to have to move on. You know what we're going to move on? And I feel bad because you know what? But you know what? His sincerity about. But you know what? I would hate for you to become one of those people that y'all are the reason why he don't win an Oscar because y'all are And it should not be about our public opinion. It should be about your work. But yeah, your work. So when we gonna talk about it? Because you keep talking, but yet y'all don't want to talk about his work. People are talking about. They don't want to talk about his work. But I don't want to talk about what happened in 1999 when I was. Well, listen. This is the first time he's been in the public eye. This is the first time people know who Nate Parker is. And when you have this big allegation behind you, that is going to be one of the big things to be discussed. Just like, let's say, like anybody. You're going through a divorce. Let's say a big movie star, you're going through a divorce. You got this film coming out. But yes, people are going to ask you, and they will be a fool not to ask, how are you doing after this divorce? How are you feeling? Blah, 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 blah. They're going to ask you that. That is what any interviewer Nate Parker's been making movies since 2000.
But didn't nobody hear about Nate Parker?
All of a sudden.
Didn't nobody know about Nate Parker?
2004, Nate Parker has been making movies for over a decade.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden, when he's coming out with this big movie, this movie that is helping young people, whether you're black or white, learn a little bit about history. Learn a little bit about history. He's coming out with a film like this because this is a man who rarely gets talked about in schools, who's rarely talked about. Like, it was interesting to hear Charlamagne, well, not Charlamagne, but DJ Envy and them say, I had never, even Nate Parker,
I've seen his face,
I've never even heard of
1831.
You know what I mean?
But
this is a man who said, you know what, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to quit acting for X amount of years so I can write the script and I can help the public learn a little bit more about Nat Turner. And it's so unfortunate because had I known that what happened to me in 1999 would come out, I honestly don't think that he would have done it because now it's like, it's taken away. Yeah, it has to be told. But when are we going to allow him to tell the story? Why do we keep asking him to tell a story that happened in 1999? I want him to be able to educate young black people. He can't educate the young black people when you got people out there keep asking him. So let's talk about what happened in 1999.
Well, listen, let me tell you something.
And then we get mad at him because he's upset that they're
he
asking him.
Should have been media trained. That when he was on that breakfast,
I thought he was very, and I thought he was very professional. Because you know what
came off very, to me, he was just like, oh, it happened, and you know, it just
he didn't come off like that.
To me.
Yeah, to you. I don't know how you watched
wait. You cut me off now. Hold up. Now, when he said on the Breakfast Club was that he knew when he made this film that he was going to have this stuff come out against him because anytime you do a black film, anytime you want to educate people, people are going to find out what is the dirt behind this person. Anything they can do to slander you. So they came out with this. Instead of hiding, he put up a he was in, you haven't seen no Nate Parker. You haven't seen anything from him. Last thing you seen was a post that he put up on Facebook about the allegations and stuff like that, where he discussed it. Now you really have this film to promote, and it's a great story, and it's a story that needs to be told and should be told. Now, either you could tell this story in the beginning, no matter what, wherever you go, you're going to discuss this film. And then the interviewer is still going to go back into what happened 19 years ago or 16 years, however many years ago it was. People are still going to bring this up. It's going to be discussed because this is his first project, and you got so many people talking about this thing, and also people talking about him dating a white girl. I didn't watch that. I don't know if he talked about that on the Breakfast Club, but he has had a lot of people come at him from the beginning. I remember that. So what? He's dating a white girl. Black people get mad. Oh, because
he's not dating her. They're married.
Oh, married. Yeah. You know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. But I feel like it's the interviewer's job to do that, and he knew that this question was going to come up because it's out now. So I think that he could have answered it in a better way, where he seems like he is sympathizing about what happened, but not be like, oh well, I don't know why I'm here to talk about this because this is a case that I beat and I didn't get charged with anything. Like, talking like that shows that you have no remorse for what happened, for what happened 20 years ago. You could have, I don't know how he could say I'm not a PR person, but he could have cleaned that up.
I'm sorry,
to
but
not make
Nate
it seem
Parker
like he's not being remorse.
Nate Parker has spoke out about that. He even wrote an open letter to this young woman's family. So I'm confused at how it's on ABC. It doesn't show he has any remorse because he's already showed his remorse.
He showed you right there on the network.
But let me just say this: I don't care if it was on a newspaper. I don't care if we are big, if we get big and ABC calls us and says we want to do an interview and Robin Roberts says to you, Kevin, I remember X amount of years ago when you used to make salacious videos, you are going to get aggravated by that because that has nothing to do with where we are today. Are you not? Yes, you are. Because if I'm not going to get aggravated, if you're not, I am. Because what I'm going to tell Robin is that has nothing to do with the Scorpion Show. He's past that. We've moved on. Let's talk about the Scorpion Show, okay? Nate Parker is past what happened in 1999 and shows you the rest of the world. Like I said, and like he said, we feel sorry that this young lady committed suicide. We feel sorry for her. But I am here to talk about Birth of a Nation. I'm not here to talk about Kevin and what he used to do before the Scorpion Show. I'm not here to talk about what happened in 1999 that I was acquitted of. Come on. This is not just because, oh, it happened and, oh, well, they have to talk about it. He was clearly aggravated and agitated, as most people are when they are questioned about things that they've already talked about. Like I said, the interview was 8 minutes long. Half of the interview, they're talking about this, and he's trying to talk about his movie. And I don't think that he was rude at all. I think he was trying to get Robin to say, listen, Robin, I'm sorry, I've already talked about this. Can we talk about why I'm here and not about that? Because I didn't sign up to talk about this. I signed up to talk about my movie that's coming out in 3 days. And if I don't talk about it, then nobody will know that it's coming out in 3 days because I done talked about what happened in 1999.
Well, you know what? A lot of things happened back in 1999 or close to 1999, the year 2000. Like with R. Kelly and him being alleged that he raped this girl. And we've all seen the fucking video, right? Now, when R. Kelly beat that case, he had an album to promote. And guess what? Everywhere that man went,
right,
the questions about the acquittal was sure to go.
That's right.
And that's the same thing that's going to happen with Nate Parker until the end of this goddamn Nat Turner movie. Until it's out on Netflix or HBO. He's going to fucking hear it, okay? It does not matter. That is a reporter or an interviewer's job to do their job, and they're going to ask you. And if you're going to get upset about it, then bitch, you shouldn't have showed up for the interview.
No.
She's doing her job.
You can get upset.
He
you can ask the
He didn't
question.
even seem
But I don't have to.
He didn't seem
I don't
remorseful.
have to
He's like, I
answer
beat
the
that.
question.
I beat that.
He did not say it like that, Kevin.
He's like, I beat that case.
Kevin,
Like, this is
I will turn it on. He did not
turn
say
it
it like that. You interpreted it the way you wanted to interpret it. I watched the whole interview and he did not. I said nothing that Kevin said that he said. He didn't say anything.
No, the way he came off, like I said, unremorseful and dismissive.
But can I just say this?
To me, that's how he was in his interview, okay? But he tried to get to. What I said that he said that he didn't say.
I don't know, but he didn't say.
Listen. He was brought up the movie, right? In the beginning, he brought up the movie and tried to evade the question about the allegations. No, everybody didn't watch 60 Minutes last night. Now, amongst this movie coming out, you are in this scandal, okay? Now, I didn't see 60 Minutes, and I still even haven't seen 60 Minutes, so I don't know what he said. But like he said, what he said on here was, I was proven innocent. I was proven innocent, but that doesn't mean that you are innocent, okay? A girl had sex who was out of it. She was out of her mind, okay? So she don't know what was going on.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think he did it?
He knew what he was doing.
I didn't ask you that.
Do I think that he raped her?
Is
No.
there an echo in this room?
Do I think that he raped her? No.
Okay.
But do I think that his friend was in the right state of mind? No. But did that guy join in? Yes.
Okay.
Something went on. And maybe she did say yes. And a lot of things, people do a lot of things, especially me, I know. A lot of people do things under the influence. And then when they wake up, they don't even remember what happened. They be like, but Kevin, you said yes to something. No, but hold on, I'm not talking about sexually. Right. But what I'm saying is that you be like, now wait a minute, now you know I'm not even in my right state of mind.
Right.
So what I think happened was he knew what was going on. That girl had been drinking, and I think they started drinking. They all had a threesome. Now maybe she consented to Nate Parker, but I don't think that she consented to the other friend. So let's not act like, oh, Nate Parker, nothing happened at all. Something did go down.
No, what Nate Parker said was, what Nate Parker, and the part that I wanted to mention was, what he said was, he didn't say that nothing happened. What he said was, I did not rape her.
Yeah.
That's what he said, and that, well, not in this particular interview, but that's what he's always been saying, is that I did not rape her. Now, what you just said makes a lot of sense when it comes to, you know, the drinking, being under the influence. It makes a lot of sense. But if the both of us are under the influence, because I don't know if he was under the influence or not. If the both of us are under the influence and we fooling around and we do something and we have sex, and then the next morning I wake up and I find out that we had sex, and then I start saying, wait a minute, you must have raped me because I didn't, and you looking at me like, wait, bitch, yes you did. You said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? His whole thing was, I can't apologize for being accused of something. That's why I wanted to rewind it back too. I can't apologize for being accused of something that I did not do. That's what he said. I'm not going to apologize for being accused of something that I did not do. That's just like somebody coming to me and saying, Mikhail, I need you to apologize to Kevin for taking $100 off of his dresser. Well, why the hell would I apologize for that if I didn't do it? You need to apologize because you was the only one in the room. But I did not do it. I didn't do that. I don't know if Kevin
apologize. I'll be asking for my goddamn money back.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
I know
see what I'm saying.
yeah.
And that was what he was basically saying. I can't apologize because then if I do apologize, then whoever out there is trying to get me in that gotcha moment, then what they gonna say? Oh well, why the hell did he apologize for something that he didn't do?
The best thing to do is say, now I don't apologize for what happened because I didn't rape her. But what I do is I sympathize with the family for the loss of their child.
But he's already said that.
But he didn't say that in this.
Okay, he didn't say that in this interview. Okay, fine. He didn't say that.
They're going to ask you. Let's be honest. They're going to ask you.
They are going to ask
every media outlet you go to. You're going
to. But you mean to tell me You mean to tell me Robin Roberts and ABC couldn't go to his Facebook where he publicly wrote a public letter to this woman?
Yeah, but
you mean to tell me they could go to these other interviews where
they could go to those other interviews
and he sympathized?
They could go to the other interviews and they're going to say, you said this. But like she said, a lot of people feel like you're unremorseful on what happened. Like, a lot of people feel that way.
That's the people, I feel like those people are those that are not following him. I think very early on, Nate Parker came out and said, I'm so I remember the letter.
Let me tell you something. A letter, when you write a letter, your emotions can be read or it could be expressed in any type of way according to that reader. But it's nothing like hearing something coming from the mouth of that person, because then you can interpret the emotion, is there sincerity behind it, and all of that.
But then he would have to be explaining his sincerity, because people like you would say, well, I don't think he's remorseful enough, and he said, I am remorseful.
No, I don't care about the letter, I'm talking about how he's acting.
Yes, exactly. But then if he is being remorseful, then people like you would say, oh, the way he's acting, he don't seem remorseful to me. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? Jump off a bridge?
Well, you know what, damn it? That's just like...
That's like a catch-22.
Let me tell you
it's
something.
Like, damn if you do or damn if you don't.
Well,
I said I was sorry, but I guess the way I was sitting when I said I was sorry, you don't seem remorseful.
Hey, we said the same thing to a man running for president named Donald Trump. Now, when he said that in that interview, do you disavow David Duke? I said I disavow David Duke. But there was no true feeling that you said you disavowed David Duke, but do you really mean it? Because you didn't say it with sincerity. And that's all. But listen,
know that he doesn't disavow.
Listen. That's all I'm saying. So to us, we know. But to him, the way he's coming off, I feel that he can just say things a little bit better than what he's doing. And not to come off agitated, because you know when you're in that spotlight, they're going to talk about your scandal. It's going to come up because it's fresh and you got this movie that you want to promote. So you had to get into those viewers' heads. Oh, I need you to look past me. This film is bigger than me. I need you to look past my scandal that I beat 20 years ago and know that this is a very important film about Nat Turner and his story and the slavery building, because this is a film that I had to make because our children are not learning about Nat Turner in school. So this scandal is bigger than me. Now, I do I do sympathize with the family for the loss of their daughter, but this is a case that I was proven innocent with. So I would choose not to continue to have this conversation, but I do feel like rape is a big thing. Like I don't want him to become the poster boy for rape, but
that's what's going to happen if we have him continuously talking about it.
He has to.
That's what's going to happen. That's the same thing Rihanna didn't want. Rihanna didn't want to become that face for battered women. She didn't want to become that.
That's what Nate Parker has to do.
Become that. But see, the thing, and I have to correction. I said 8 minutes, and it was spot. It was actually, and I said 8 minutes, and they spent 5 minutes, which gave
in between. They were talking about
which gave from 4. No. Oh no, I was still right. They did still spend 5 minutes, but they actually only spent 3 minutes, not 4, but 3 minutes on Birth of a Nation. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I brought that up. Okay,
but listen, this is a film
5 minutes in an 8-minute interview they spent on this.
This is a film that everybody needed to see. And this is bitch. I'm glad that we had this conversation, because this was. I don't know when the last time. I don't know the last time we went back and forth.
Nate,
this was fun.
Call me.
Nate was one of the highlights of YouTube Black this year, and he said a lot of inspirational stuff that he said in that press.
Was he there?
Yeah.
He was there when you went. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But of course, nobody knew about that.
Shit, if he was here.
Well, let me tell you something. Nate is going to be discussed. When Nate Parker, this is what I wanted to say. When Nate Parker need to do, he need to do what Janet Jackson did. Remember amongst the nipple scandal and everything? Mm-hmm. Janet was like, bitch, this is the last time I'm going to discuss this. What he needs to do is have a big interview. Maybe he wouldn't sit down with Oprah and talk about it. But I think someone like her would be a great place to have that conversation and say, this is it, bitch. I'm done with this. I'm tired of this coming up, and I don't need this on my name. I don't need this to tarnish my name, and I was proven innocent. And people probably still feel the way they feel. They probably feel that I did it. What he needs to do is he needs to have that one big interview. And Oprah is the person to have that big interview with. Not Wendy Williams. He needs to have that where he said,
you know what,
last time.
I feel sorry for people like him. I feel sorry for people who's
going to follow him.
Yeah, it is. But I feel sorry for people like him who was acquitted and found. And it's like he said, I didn't do anything, but yet I continuously have to prove myself. Mm-hmm. I feel sorry for people like him because, like, I feel like once he said it and he spoke about it, I don't need to do an interview with Oprah. I don't need to do an interview with Tom Brokaw. Nobody. I said it. Let's move on from it.
Or if he's going to do more interviews, he needs to say, well, he needs to make them sign a contract that you will not bring up.
Or not even sign a contract. Just let his publicist or PR person know when he comes in this room, we are not talking about X, Y, Z, and if it is brought up, then he's going to leave. Just like that.
You know, there's a lot of.
I mean, we didn't have. I mean, it didn't happen a lot.
But you got.
We've had a few people tell us what they will talk about, and then after we done already filmed the video, then they tell us, "Oh, well, can you cut this out?" We've had that happen to us. Mm-hmm. And we respected their wishes, did we not?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. So therefore, people need to respect his wishes. I don't care if this is following me. If I don't want to talk about this anymore, then you need to respect me and say, you know what? We're going to move on.
Well, look, he should have told Robin Roberts, if you bring up my past, I'm going to walk out this
Yeah, you're right. He should have.
But that's not going to
And you know, the whole time I was watching the interview,
it's
3 fucking minutes.
But listen, but guess what? He should talk about this now, because if he runs away and don't talk about it, there are a lot of people or a lot of men and women who have been raped who will feel like, why should I support someone who raped somebody and got off? So if he really needs to speak up about it.
But we cannot say, and I need for you to stop saying that. Because you're saying that, why should I support somebody who raped somebody and got off? But we don't know that he raped somebody. And
I'm
that's
saying
why,
the minds of people
but see, the minds of people that have been raped should not say that either, because they don't know that he raped her. They don't know that. No one knows that he raped her. That's why I asked you the question, did you feel like he raped her? Because the way you were going off, to me, I felt like,
no,
like he raped her.
No. The reason why I was going off, because, bitch, we got topics to talk about. I gotta
know what I'm saying. Your
somebody.
aggressiveness towards him, I'm like, these
because I didn't feel like he was remorseful.
Yeah, but okay, well, fine. You don't feel that way. But rape, who cares? But these rape victims, no, what I'm saying, like, you don't feel like that. But you said rape victims should say, why should I support a film with somebody who raped somebody? Pause. You can't even say that he raped her because we don't know that. So you shouldn't say that. Rape victims should not say that about a man that they don't know if he raped her or not. That's like me saying, well, you beat so I don't know that he beat you. I don't know that he beat you. So again, rape victims, I feel bad for them. But none of them, not one single one of them, should accuse Nate Parker of raping someone and they don't know that that happened. None of us know that that happened. We can't even get an interview out of this young lady because she's dead. Mm-hmm. We can't. We can't get an interview out of her. So I think we should, like, of course he's aggravated. I was acquitted of this. And I'm not, again, I'm so happy we rewinded that video. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to apologize for something that I was accused of that I did not do. Mm-hmm. I would be a fool to apologize, because then it will be flipped and people will say, oh, see, he apologized for raping her. And then you know what happened? People will miss that he apologized for her death, and they will take that apology and say, oh no, he didn't apologize because he felt sorry that she died. He apologized because he raped her. And then you'll be like, no, it's just like last week. And I know, I need for y'all to, like, kind of, because it's kind of weird, but it's just like last week when Beyonce was waving at me. the other girl assumed that she was waving at her, but she really wasn't. She was waving at me. And then what did her friend say? No, she wasn't waving at you, she was waving at him. People would take what he said and flip it when he didn't even mean that.
Well, listen, Nate Parker. Because this is a conversation. This is a conversation that could keep going on and on. The weekend is coming, and George, I know the hurricane is coming. We could finish this up with this.
Yes.
Now listen, the same thing like when Nate Parker is going through, and we went back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all know how I feel about this. I feel like you guys should support this film. This is a story that's way bigger than him. Mm-hmm. What we discussed, or the way we're coming off is, we're going off on based on what I saw in that interview where I felt like he was not remorseful for the death of that woman or just the serious allegations behind it, because he just is like, I'm tired of talking about it. I went here and I went there, I went everywhere. You have a film to promote, and this is a scandal going on. They're going to bring it up. It's a topic that's going to be discussed. Now, you've been proven innocent. You could say I was proven. Just it's a PR. It's a Olivia Pope everywhere, and it's Olivia Pope that could have helped him get through that without seeming.
He may not have a PR though.
Yeah, but he has to get one because he knew something was going to happen. He knew it was going to come up. He knew it was going to happen. Now this is the thing. This is where it comes to support also, because look at Bill Cosby. You got some people saying, oh, they're only doing this to Bill Cosby because he wanted to do this or he's been so successful. But does that, even though he's done all of this to help black people, what about what he's done to these women and that he's even admitted to on tape? Would you still support someone that does that to women?
No, I think Bill Cosby should go down.
Yeah, he should.
No question.
But that's the same thing. Like,
but see, the difference. No, it's not.
Listen.
The difference between Bill Cosby and Nate Parker is that Bill Cosby admitted to doing that.
Yeah.
Nate Parker said, "I never did that."
But listen, he's both. If he doesn't speak about it, and if he keeps saying, "I'm not talking about it," if he speaks about it and do that one final thing where he says, "This is it," then people will go out and support the film, because when you had this scandal going on, people were like, I'm not going to see this film. I'm not going to support a rapist, even though they don't even know if he's a rapist or not, or without any information on him or the case, without even reading into it. I've read into it. I've read the shit on the Scorpion Show. We've already discussed that. And it's been determined that he is not a rapist. He was proven not guilty because he had sex, or he had oral sex with her. She had oral sex with him earlier than the day before. I mean, not earlier that night. And then she went on to have drinks and she met up with him. They had sex or whatever the case may be. I don't even want to get into it. Shut the fuck up. He was proven not guilty. But it's something he needs to talk about, because people want to support it. But see, you're not even his color. So, baby, he like a manila.
Listen. Don't you ever compare him to Bill Cosby, okay?
No, I'm talking about the allegations.
Did it?
I'm talking about the allegations.
And Bill Cosby said he did.
I'm
and
talking
he even
about
went on Larry King almost over 20 years ago and said, so they explained that whole Spanish fly thing, or the beat, or whatever it was, and Larry King asked him, what is that?
But listen, this is my thing. This is the thing. This is why I'm bringing up Bill Cosby. Okay. Well, Bill Cosby, we know that he did something. Okay,
yes, he did.
We know that he did something.
Even said.
But do you think his scandal? Do you think that they should bring back the Cosby Show, even though we know that he did this to women? Do you think they should bring it back?
I definitely think that they should bring back the Cosby Show, and this is the reason why I should. Yeah, well, yeah, duh. But not just that, the Cosby Show, and oh my God, this is so crazy, because we were just talking about when we were talking about Queen Sugar and distinguishing the characters from the actors. Yes. The Cosby Show and Cliff Huxtable. Cliff Huxtable was a character that was, he and Claire were motivational people. They were inspirational. They showed you, those characters showed you and the world that not all black people and not all black families were dysfunctional. Not all black families were separated. Not all black people were struggling just to make it above water, because you know we had just come off of good times and all that. Don't get me wrong, I love good times, but they were trying to show you that you have this black family on good times that lives in the ghetto, and you got this black family that lives in New York City in a nice, beautiful brownstone. The Cosbys were a very inspirational family, and it was a very inspirational, well, not the Cosbys, the Huxtables were an inspirational family, and it was a very inspirational show. With that being said, there were multiple characters and actors on the Cosby Show. And I just feel like these actors on this show should not have to suffer because of what Bill Cosby did. Because by what he did, and they're not showing the Cosby Show, it's now stopping paychecks, those residual checks, to coming to those actors that were on those shows. And it's very unfortunate because it's like, when we were younger, we were told, and I'm sure you were told this too, that you got to be careful what you do, because sometimes what you do it'll not only affect you, but it affects other folks. And that's what it was with Bill Cosby. It didn't just affect him, but it's now affecting his former cast members. And I feel bad, but again, Bill Cosby at some point a few years ago was in had went to court, and it came out that he deposition, and it came out that he did drugs. 2005. Yes. So I mean, it's Bill Cosby did it. There's no question about it. He did it, and you know, now that we know that he did it, I think that Bill Cosby should be handled appropriately, because you can't just do something like that to people, say that you did it, and then nothing happens to you. That's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. I do believe that the Cosby Show should come back, but as for Bill Cosby, his ass needs to be somewhere, because you can't just do that and then say I did it, and then because now I'm almost 80 and I can barely see now that y'all should give me send his ass to jail like anybody else.
Even though he's guilty in the court of public opinion, he has to be proven guilty in the court of law.
Yeah,
and that's what he's going to go to court for. Now, what if he beats this case, right? He could say, I was proven innocent. But it does not stop your mind from thinking that, oh, you know that you're guilty. You were just able to get off.
And it doesn't stop our minds from, it won't stop anybody's minds from that, because we already know that he's already admitted to it. The difference, again, with Nate Parker is Nate Parker said, yes, this young lady and I have had sexual encounters in the past. We even had a sexual encounter earlier that day. And, I mean, I'm not, and I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, but I think that with that second guy that you said, I think he probably came in on it when he wasn't supposed to come in. It was three. It was Nate. It was that guy that he did the film with, and then there was another person. Well, the other person said, no, I'm not joining and I'm out. Right. But the guy that he did the film with, I think that the young lady, because she was under the influence, she probably, did what she did. But I think that once she came through, she was like, wait a minute. Whoa. This is how I think it happened. Well, and I could be wrong, but this is how I feel. Once she had sex with the two of them, and they all three had sex probably at the same damn time. Once this young lady came to the next day and realized that she had sex with that other guy, I think in her mind she probably felt like, whoa, wait a minute. I wasn't supposed to be having sex with you. I was supposed to be having sex with him. How did you even get the fuck involved? Even though she probably was all into it because she was under the influence. But now that she's not under the influence anymore and she realizes that she's had sex with this man, I think that's probably another reason why they went so hard on him and why he wasn't he charged with something? With the friend. They both was charged. But Nate got off before him. He got off and his friend was charged. I think he did like 2 or 3 years, and then it was overturned, and then they never tried it again. And I think that was probably, and I'm sorry, but I think that was probably one of the reasons why the friend got it the tougher sentence, because it probably, the only thing that saved Nate Parker is because she gave him oral sex in the beginning of the day. Right. Because otherwise he would have been found guilty. Let me tell you something. I agree with you 113%. He would have been found guilty. That's why I kept looking at it as, And I didn't really want to say it because I didn't want to seem insensitive, because I saw What's Love Got to Do with It, and it don't really matter if you know somebody and you've been having sex with them. I raped Tina too, okay?
Yeah, you can be raped whether you know or not.
But the way I was looking at it as, I can't see him raping this woman, especially when they just had sex earlier that day.
Well, she just sucked his thing.
Well, I mean, hello.
Well,
So for some people, that's all you need. But listen. It is. But this was no stranger to him, and he was no stranger to her. These were somebody that he had sex with, and I think that's another reason why over these years he probably is like also aggravated and agitated, because it's like, listen, y'all don't even know what really went on. This was somebody that I was fucking the shit out of her almost every night or every other night. And yeah, my friend got
they
involved.
just met that same day, I think.
Well, I don't know when they met. I don't know when they met, but she sucked his dick.
Yeah, she sure did, because there's a lot of people. Never mind. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about
You did it, not me.
Wait a minute. I didn't say anything about me, bitch. Don't put me in there.
No, you was about to say something.
No. What I'm saying was,
I don't know what you're saying.
So that happened, but
yeah.
You know what I really think about and what I really sympathize with is that female. Because
we all do, yes.
Something had to
and
happen.
for her to kill herself.
Something had to happen, because we don't know. But that lived with her for a very long time. And to just only say, oh, it was just sex, something else had to happen.
But like I said, I think that what else happened was that other guy joined in and he wasn't supposed to join in.
And because he's Nate Parker is considered, well, he's proven innocent, this does need to go away. But I understand why these people are doing it. But Nate, either you want to do that one big interview where you say this is the last time we're talking about it, or you're just going to have to let them know that you can't bring this up no more. Because that's it. Because you have a film that's bigger than what happened in 1999 at Penn Campus. It's bigger than that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I enjoyed that. So we are going to get up out of here. Please be safe this weekend. Also on Sunday, there is another presidential debate. It will be hosted by Anderson Cooper. There is no excuse on why you can't watch it.
Okay.
ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, PBS, MSNBC, and the Fox News Network, and C-SPAN, and others, and even Univision will be showing the next presidential debate. It's the second one. This Sunday at 9 p.m. So I hope you guys watch it, because we will discuss it on Monday, which is October 7th. Is that Columbus Day? I don't celebrate Columbus Day, so we'll be working. We'll be working. But you don't get Columbus Day off.
Listen.
Oh, but this was like,
Nate Parker, please call.
Okay. Because he won a job, and I'm not talking about working.
And you can pay me.
Because it begins with a big.
And ends with a job.
Bitch! Begins with a B, ends with a B, but ends with a job. Last was a job. That was just LOW. Now how low can that blow when you go? That was fun, Nate Parker. Y'all go see Birth of a Nation.
Nate Parker,
Go see it.
And I don't know when the next time we're going to ever talk
about Nate Parker.
Okay? But I hope he's nominated for, I hope this film is nominated, because he did a very good job.
Yes, he did a good job. But you know what's probably gonna overcrowd this film now? Fences.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington, Viola Davis.
What we need. We need black
That's
competition. Right. We need it. And
don't pick just one film. Because don't act like Birth of a Nation was good. Because I left that theater mad as fuck. Bitch, we not talking about the whole skin. Oh, now you want to talk about the movie. Oh, no, we'll wait next week. But I left the theater mad. Woo! I was a firecracker. Because I just don't like seeing shit like this. But these stories got to be told.
I said, Diggy, they knock his teeth out his mouth.
He said, and bitch, don't take your kids to see it.
No, don't take your kids.
Don't take the kids too much.
Not no young kids anyway. Maybe a teenager, but not no young kids. It's too much for a young child. Too much.
Ooh,
but it's a very good film. Birth of a Nation. I highly recommend it. Kevin highly recommends it. Nate Parker, we love you.
Yes.
If anybody knows Nate Parker or follows him, send him this video. Tell him to start watching at the part that we start talking about this, because I know he don't want to watch it.
He don't want to watch the whole 45 minutes.
Just show him the part, and just be like, Nate Parker, that guy with the hat, he was right.
And tell him don't watch the last 10 seconds. I mean the last 2 minutes about that blowjob. So, I
don't know what he's talking about.
We're gonna go.
Yes.
But this was fun. Y'all have a good weekend. And again, be safe. If they tell you to evacuate, evacuate. Peace.
Yeah.